Hey Ross World, my money makes money. So, quick to buy a house part 2. Now, if you haven't seen the first video that I did, I posted that on YouTube. Just go over to Ross World and look up quick to buy a house. So you got little Tyrone, little Michael. They're planning it. You're thinking about them planning a big old backyard. Right now, you're in an apartment building and you're trying to move to a bigger house. So, I'm just trying to figure out, have you really sat down and thought about all the bills associated with the house? Now, once again, this is part 2 of part 1. If you want to see part 1, go ahead and go on YouTube under Ross World and look for quick to buy a house. So things that I failed to mention in that video was HOA fees, property tax. I didn't go extensively into that. But a lot of you believe that if you have enough money to put down in a home, you have enough money to pay the monthly mortgage, then you have enough money to afford and buy a home. Well, let me tell you this. After your 1 or 2 year warranty expires, then all the things that happen to the home is on you. Whether you have a 10-year or 30-year warranty on your roof, after that ends, that falls on you. Simply because you can afford your mortgage, property tax, insurance, HOA fees, electrical, gas, water, garbage. Have you really ever really sat down? And here's another thing. If you're not going to keep that house for more than 3 years, then don't buy it, because the equity in that home, you're only going to make about $5,000 depending. Another thing to consider, are you buying a house during a seller's market or a buyer's market? What's the difference? A seller's market is when it's good for sellers to buy. They're going to get top dollar for their homes. Or rather, how about this? A smaller home will make more money and a bigger home will make a lot more money. But if it's a buyer's market, that means for the little cash you have, you'll get a decent sized house with amenities and all other sorts of upgrades. You have to understand the market. All of these things mean things, and I want you to think about it, because everybody is like, oh, I'm with this person, we just got married, things are great, or you with a significant other, you're thinking about buying a home, moving into a home. Yes, all of those things are wonderful. You see the kids playing in the background, he's out there grilling, or you're out there grilling, whoever, and you want to do things to your attic and to your basement, you want to do add-ons to your home. But I want you to consider these other things that you may not be prepared for financially. For all the services in the home. Think about that. Think about the HOA fees. Think about the electrical fees. Like in an apartment, I'm not trying to say stay in an apartment forever. No. I'm just saying when you are ready to buy a home, make sure you're in that home for more than 3 years, because you want to make a profit from that home. If you're just going to be in a home 1 to 2 years because you're at a particular place in your life where you may move, you're like, well, I don't want to rent. You may want to consider renting, because think about like my situation, right? 2 bedroom, 2 bath, water's included to the mortgage, and also the carport, and I just pay electricity. And I pay about $50 every 2 months, because I'm a very frugal person. I only use the lights that I'm on. Like you're not gonna see a lot of things in my house plugged up if I'm not using it. That's not me. I unplug it. I literally unplug it from the wall, or I have devices. Okay, I have devices that I use that automatically turn off the power at a particular point. So these are things that you need to consider when you buy a home. Then on top of that, so you have all the bills and fees and services that I spoke about that is associated with the home. Now let's factor in your car. Okay, now you want a nice car, you have a nice car, or is it paid off? It just depends. But people really do not sit down and crunch the numbers. Then if you did actual research, you want to research the neighborhood you want to live in, correct? Okay. So did you know a lot of neighborhoods on a particular power grid, they automatically charge people certain amount of bill regardless of how much electricity they use? Yes, you have to call in and ask those things. The same way with gas. So not only do you have house fees, you have a nice house, then you have a vehicle. And most people are paying a car note on the vehicle. If you're one of the ones who don't pay a car note, then congrats. But most people are paying a car note. So now you have your car note. Then you have your car insurance. And then you have services. Then, who knows, car get a flat tire, you're paying for it, etc. All of those bills are associated. But no one is sitting down and really thinking about all the bills that are associated with a home. I just want you to make the best financial decision that you possibly can. I've owned a couple homes. And my first home, I'm going to tell you the truth, it was a catastrophe because I did not understand all the bills that was associated with it, because I moved from what? An apartment, okay? I moved from an apartment. I'm like, oh man, I got to pay water. I got to pay gas. I got to pay electricity. I got to pay this. I got to pay that, this service, that service. I got to pay for trash, garbage, whatever. And I'm just like, I got to pay somebody to come pick up my trash? So I don't want to ramble and I don't want to rant. I just want to give this information so you just take the time and you take the thought. Before you buy a home, consider the neighborhood. Consider if it has HOA fees. Consider the standard electric and water and gas. Consider the trash. Consider all those things even before you consider, oh, where's the playground? Is this neighborhood safe? Is this property value good in this area? First, see if you can afford it and still live your life, because granted, you have this house, you're paying all these fees, you're doing just fine. But what if one thing happens, right? Unfortunately, someone in your family dies and you have to fly. You don't have the money because your house is soaking up all the fees. Or you're cutting your grass and a rock hits the window and it puts a hole in your window, but all the money is in the house with the services and the mortgage, but you don't have the money to get the window fixed. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, hey, be conscious, do your research, sit down and make a well-educated decision, rather a rash decision based on you just wanting a house. Most people want a house, but are you ready and can you afford one? Just don't jump into a bad financial decision because A, just because you want to, 2, just because everybody else around you is doing it, and then 3, just because you was too lazy to look up a few things. So this is Ross World. Quick to buy a house? Think about it. I'm out.